It's Friday night, and what the fuck are you doing? I'll tell you what you're doing. You're sitting home dreaming about sweaty, built men in underwear. And who better to do it with than the Iconoclastic Wrestling Podcast? And here's your host, Iconoclast and Dick Taco.
Welcome to the Iconoclastic Wrestling Podcast. I'm Iconoclast.
And I am your host, Dick Taco.
Let's talk about wrestling.
Wow, you sound so enthused.
So, as we were talking about before this, before we started recording, I was talking about Eli Drake, now known as LA Knight, and the faction that he had in the dark ages of TNA.
Which is a broad statement. Because...
Yeah, it's anything after 2010. It starts really going downhill. And then after like 2014,
there's a couple of diamonds in 2011, like Bobby Roode and Bound for Glory 2011 was good.
Is that the one with
Sting versus Hogan? And it was really good.
Like I said, I was,
and it had no right to be.
But they had.
It insisted upon itself.
Drew Galloway, Eli Drake. They had this faction called the Rising with Tonga Loa, the worst wrestler that I've ever seen. Giant Haystacks was a better wrestler than Tonga Loa.
Get the fuck out of here.
At least Giant Haystacks didn't botch. At least he could do the moves.
He didn't do anything.
Exactly. Tonga Loa,
He knew his role.
Who?
He knew his role.
Tonga doesn't know now.
No, I'm talking about Giant Haystacks.
I know, but Tonga Loa, he doesn't know his role. Tonga Loa goes out there and, you saw the thing he does.
He don't know his asshole from his elbow in the ring, I'll tell you that.
He does this thing, he did that thing with Okada where he, like, slapped him and then he hit him and he chopped him. And he does that for, like, 5 minutes.
That was the worst goddamn shit you ever showed me. And that's saying something with the shit you showed me.
But I was watching good TNA stuff yesterday.
There's no such thing.
Jerry Lynn versus AJ Styles in 2003.
All right. I mean, I thought Jerry Lynn was okay. I never was like the Jerry Lynn Rob Van Dam stuff in like '99 in ECW was really good because they could go like 45 minutes to an hour.
For the first couple years, TNA's main event scene is dog shit, but the X Division stuff is really good. And then you have like 2005, 2006 to like 2009, 2010 before Hogan shows up, where everything's good.
Yeah, it was definitely different around 2005 and 6 when they had Angle and Joe and the Dudleys and AJ
and Christian.
Ugh, why do you have to bring him up? Like, he's like a secondary character.
He's like one of the most underrated wrestlers.
He's like Afterbirth.
He's one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time.
Okay, good for him.
Very attractive too.
Oh my God.
Him and Roddy Piper.
God, that's like your dream. I'm not talking about this with you. All right, can we just get into the news here?
Roddy Piper when he was older too, when he showed up in like TNA.
Oh, all right, calm down. You're gonna start sweating in a minute. You want to get into the news?
It's like you with Nia Jax.
No. Let's see the WWE news and get it out of the.
Kevin Owens' contract status. I was reading that they might be offering. WWE's offering an extension.
Sure they are.
Or a new contract.
But I don't know. Has he done everything he could do there? I would say yes. I'd be interested to see him go to AEW just for some of the matches. Because I think him versus MJF could be good. Him versus Ospreay. Him versus Ricochet. Like, there's really a lot of good dream. Like, if he was going to retire, which I don't think he is, because you can't really go in the indies anymore. Thank you, Tony. He could go on his little retirement tour thing and just have all these fucking awesome matches with people. Fight Samoa Joe, because Joe's on part-timer now anyway, basically. Mark Briscoe would be a good match. Like, there's so many good matches.
What do you mean Joe's a part-timer?
Joe's never around. Samoa Joe's never around.
Because
he's doing movies.
Stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's a movie star.
Well,
now.
because he went into
him and that nice set of tits he has are movie stars.
Hey, Joe's an amazing wrestler.
He's very good.
Well, also Jericho put him in the hospital. So
yeah, that's kayfabe, dude.
That's how they wrote him off TV.
Yeah, but that's kayfabe. So
hey, at least AEW keeps kayfabe.
I agree with that.
Well, the Young Bucks.
Yeah, fuck that. Anyway, so after the Kevin Owens got
hey, I sent you a clip of them doing that amazing move.
So they landed a move. A broken clock's right twice a day. Are you upset about the Lucha Brothers signing with WWE and heading right to the main roster? Are you upset about that?
I'm upset about them going to WWE because I don't think they'll be utilized well. What are they going to do? Get put in the LWO?
Well, maybe they're going to do something different with the tag division. I hope they would, because tag team wrestling all around is dog shit. It's not just like AEW's and because AEW has some of the worst fucking has some of the worst fucking tag teams. Period.
You're practically incomprehensible right now.
I am not.
So happens when you smoke pop before we start recording.
The tag teams in AEW are ridiculous.
Like who?
Undisputed Flatulence. Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara.
They're in Ring of Honor.
Doesn't matter. He owns them both.
The problem with AEW is that they have a trios belt now too. They got to get rid of it.
Yeah, they got to get rid of that. Like, because WWE doesn't have that. They could probably do more with a tag team division.
Yeah, but WWE's tag division still sucks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Tag team wrestling all around is dog shit. So maybe they're going to do something different. I hope they are. But they're going to go right to the main roster, it sounds like. Not like the Motor City Machine Guns, which would be a very good match. The Lucha Brothers against the...
I don't know. Maybe it would have been a good match like 10 years ago. I don't know about now.
Well, they're a lot older than the Lucha Brothers, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. About 10. Motor City Machine Guns maybe like... Yeah, I told you. I was watching that match from like TNA Lockdown or... Was it Lockdown or I think it was Sacrifice 2007, where it was like the match where they have like the big dome and you have to escape. It wasn't called the Thunderdome or Thunder Cage or something.
No, it wasn't that. Thunderdome, that's old WCW.
I know, that's what I was thinking. It wasn't named that, but it was kind of like that. You had to crawl out of there, and it was the Motor City Machine Guns, Kaz, Curryman.
Who's Kaz? Kaz Hayashi? Was he
Kazarian.
Asian?
Frankie Kazarian.
Oh. It was Kaz Hayashi. He was a Japanese WCW jobber in the late 90s.
And then
it's like Yuji Nagata.
Curryman, who's Christopher Daniels. Who else was there? Consequences Creed.
Oh my god.
Wait, I have to look this up now. And they showed like
you don't have to look it up.
No, I do. TNA Sacrifice 2007.
Did you find it?
I'm not sure about the pay-per-view.
All right. Well, can we get back to the? What the hell are you talking about? How did you work TNA into this? I'm talking about the Lucha Brothers.
Because we were talking about.
I'm incomprehensible. Skip it, Stu. Peacock will no longer be able to stream Raw after January 1st because it's moving to Netflix.
Yeah.
NXT will also be leaving the cock due to it being on the CW now or something.
Yeah. It's October 1st.
Yeah. Disappointing ticket sales forced 10/8 NXT taping to cancel in St. Louis or something like that.
Wait, it's canceling?
Yeah. Or it's canceled as of right now. They're going to move it somewhere else. Which is very odd to hear, but I'm glad it's being reported on. And finally, Steve Corino re-signs with WWE and will stay on as tag team coach at the Performance Center.
Oh, wait, Steve Corino works for WWE?
Yeah.
But his son works in NWA?
Well, maybe his son's not that good. Steve has a lot to offer another generation of
He does. He was only champion after everyone else in ECW.
It doesn't matter, man. He could talk, he could wrestle, he could work. And he went into Ring of Honor and got in with the booking team when he was there, and he was the announcer for a while.
I'm trying to find
commentator.
I'm trying to find this match.
What match is it again?
It's like it was like a cage match thing with the Motor City Machine Guns, and a bunch of other guys.
Yeah. Sounds very interesting.
Global Force Wrestling.
All right, skip it. Let's go to the AEW news. And the greatest news of this week, Rampage to be canceled with new AEW rights deal. I think that's the right move.
Yes, it's...
Collision is now on life support. Not quite dead yet.
Well, this is a thing that that I was talking about, and we were talking about why AEW's ticket sales are so bad. I think one of the reasons is because Tony has all this TV time, and most of it's pointless.
Yeah.
It feels like it's Velocity. I saw
Velocity. You bring up these random Z shows.
Exactly, because that's what Collision feels like. You know what matches were on Collision last night?
What?
One of them, I know off the top of my head, was Darby Allin versus Evil Uno. Again, you put like a great wrestler with a glorified jobber.
Nigel also demanded an answer from Bryan Danielson last night and still did not get one. He has a shirt now that says Bryan fears Nigel.
Yeah, well, because he has a shirt that says Nigel fears Bryan.
Do you think a lot of these younger people even know who he is? They probably just know him as the Saturday night commentator. You know what I mean? He used to be on NXT for a while too. He was.
It's their fault for not knowing who he is.
Oh, I know, but I'm just like
AEW's done a good job of introducing his history.
Yeah, but he's doing a lot of it on his own. Like, Nigel's very good on the mic, let's be honest. But I don't understand the marketing of it, especially giving it away on free TV. Unless something's going to happen and it's not going to happen, and you can drag it out a little bit.
I think there's going to be a screwy finish, and they're going to do a pay-per-view match.
Maybe Nigel retires him. Maybe that's what he wants. Adam Cole and the former ROH owner Kerry Silken were backstage at the 9/18 Dynamite.
Yeah, I thought Kerry Silken didn't like AEW.
I don't know if he doesn't like it. He doesn't like what Tony did with...
Oh!
What?
This was on Collision last night. Jeff Jarrett challenges Adam Page to a lumberjack strap match.
Oh, my God. Yes. Continue.
God, what is with CM Punk going to NXT? What was he like, Leonardo DiCaprio?
Will you stick to Collision and tell me what's on there?
Because I'm scrolling through Reddit to find this stuff.
Miro requested his release. Did you hear about that shit?
Finally.
I don't know where he's going to go. And do you think they're rushing Ospreay and Ricochet? I hope Ricochet learns to talk. I would not give that away on TV. If you give it away on TV, because other trilogies, one of the matches on TV, like the Lesnar Angle Iron Man match, was on SmackDown.
Yeah, but it's the 5th anniversary. So the idea is that of Dynamite, that's when it's on.
Meltzer had criticism of the 9/14 Collision when none of the 9 stars on the poster were on the show.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Let's say that's
because again, no one big is on Collision.
I'm just saying, you're not even advertising. They're not even advertising right though. This has a lot to do with why they're not selling tickets.
It's a fucking they're squash matches. They are 10-minute squash matches. They have no reason to happen.
They should be pre-taped and put in syndication.
No one fucking does that.
I know.
They should have it just because apparently they want to bring Dark back.
What? Do you remember when they put the Blackpool Combat Club on Dark, the one show we went to?
That was because it was only Rampage.
I don't care.
And they wanted to hype the crowd up.
I don't care. That was a stupid fucking move. Dark's a pre-show at best.
Exactly. That's what Collision feels like with the kind of matches that are on there.
I don't know. All right. Let's talk about... Oh, let me get some other stuff.
Zilla Fatu announced for Limitless Wrestling.
Yeah, because did you hear?
Yeah, he's
no-showing garbage championship wrestling, so they ain't going to book him. That ain't no loss, though. You don't get booked for that horse
Well,
shit.
I mean, Zilla Fatu, he's going to show up in WWE. So is Journey Fatu, who I didn't even realize was a person.
Jacob's going to stand there. They're just going to come like, whether it's the Flash when he was phased to go through shit.
Yeah.
He's just going to it's going to be like a time remnant.
Stand it. It's
Speed Mirage.
I told you the thing about Rikishi where it's like, Rikishi can get a woman pregnant from 20 paces. Puts on a condom, it shoots right through.
All right. Another match added to Grand Slam, a Saraya Rules match between Saraya and Jamie Hayter. I wrote, Dear God.
I think they announced that on Rampage.
They both shoot a porno?
And not funny.
What? That is funny. That's the only thing she's good at. She's not good at wrestling. She wasn't even really good at that. Those movies didn't make me feel anything.
Stop it. I'm excited for the Jeff Jarrett Hangman Adam Page match.
Only if Hangman hangs him.
Hey, well, I told you, I want Swerve to come back with I told you last night when you were talking on the phone, I want him to show up with like a gun and shoot Hangman with like rubber bullets.
He shoot his horse, like I said. But he's coming back sooner than expected.
Here we have from Collision. There was a backstage segment between Darby Allin and Pizzeria Uno.
Why? Why is he there? Why is TV time wasted on him?
Exactly.
Why is he higher than Tony Nese on the PWI 500?
That's not.
Why is anything?
But that's the thing. AEW has all this TV time and they waste it.
You don't need all this TV time. You know what? If you had less TV time, you could fire a lot of these guys that aren't worth shit because you wouldn't have the war. You wouldn't have to keep them around.
Yeah, well, you want to fire like 90% of the roster because you want this to be like it was when you were a kid where you only have like 20 people.
You wouldn't even notice.
I think you would.
You wouldn't be like, where's so-and-so? Especially if the writing was good. You wouldn't care where anybody was. When Bret Hart left at WWF and DX was around, I didn't care. They had max back then, 40 people. Max. 44, I think.
Here we go. Every match announced for Dynamite and Collision at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Dynamite, Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin. Bryan Danielson versus Nigel
shouldered, balding cocksucker. Go ahead.
God, you hate Moxley. It's like, I found this one subreddit called Wrestling, which is supposed to be like for like the funny stuff in wrestling, but it's become a WWE like circle jerk subreddit. So, where everyone just hates on AEW and talks about how great WWE is.
Which isn't that's a bit much.
And they were saying how, AEW is racist because of and anti-Semitic because of this Moxley angle that, where they're neo-Nazis.
It is a little weird.
And that they're going to be
I personally like it.
And that they're going to be bringing in the Hurt Syndicate, and then they're going to feud with the Nazis.
Hey, it's a good way to start. Dude, all right, so they want to do what? The Nation versus DOA back in 1997?
Who is DOA?
Disciples of Apocalypse. It was the Harris twins and Brian Lee and Paul Ellering, man.
Oh, God! God, that's terrible.
Chain, Skull, and 8-Ball.
What? Eli Blue, that's what one of them went by at one point.
Jacob and Eli Blue, yeah. They're managed by Uncle Zebekiah. A.K.A. Dutch Mantel.
And there was other stuff on there, like how, the end of Cody and Roman's match at WrestleMania 40 is like the best 5 minutes in the history of professional wrestling.
I liked the Roman, did you see the Roman program with Cody at the Georgia Tech Stadium?
Yeah, because they have to work together to fight the Smelly Samoans.
I know, this is very Rocky 3.
Whatever, I don't like...
No, but it's not... What?
Whatever, Rocky 3 sucks.
But that is the best one, you fucking dipshit.
God, the first one's the only one that holds any water.
Yeah, because it's based on a true story.
Anyway.
The third one is the best movie.
She's here. Mariah May versus Yuka Sakazaki for the Women's World Championship.
Because it's tight.
The Young Bucks versus Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay for the tag team titles.
Nice.
Pac, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta versus a to-be-announced team for the Trios belts. They're being forced to defend it.
Is that the AEW Trios belts?
Yes, thankful. Yes. Why?
I'm just trying to get
the
it
Ring
straight.
of Honor Trios belts, that's Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs.
Oh, God.
What?
Dustin and Sammy are the ROH tag champions, right?
Yeah, Dustin holds 2 belts.
And who's the ROH champion? Mark Briscoe, right?
Yeah, Mark Briscoe. who actually is really good on AEW TV.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better. But get what I was saying earlier, Swerve's coming back sooner than expected.
Yeah.
He'll be back for 10-12 for here since Wrestle Dream's in Tacoma, where he's from.
Yes. Well, he's on the Wrestle Dream poster.
Well, obviously that doesn't matter after what I told you about.
That's
Fuck it.
I can't believe that. Confirmed for Collision.
Go ahead.
Hook versus Roderick Strong in an FTW rules match.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why that has to be for that.
Jeff Jarrett versus
fucking
Adam,
two whites title or something. I don't know what
versus Adam Page in a lumberjack strap match. I want to watch that, so I'm gonna have to watch Collision now. Jamie Hayter versus Saraya with Harley Cameron.
Who the hell's Harley Cameron again?
She's the woman with Saraya. You gotta watch to keep up. Kazuchika Okada versus Sammy Guevara in a Continental Championship Eliminator match. Why the fuck are they wasting Okada doing that?
Okada against who?
Sammy Guevara in a...
Yeah, it's obvious he's going to beat him.
Continental Championship Eliminator
Continental
match.
breakfast meeting.
Like, why are they wasting him? Ospreay's doing all this great shit. It feels like they're not doing anything with Okada.
Well, Okada's lazy.
The Conglomeration versus the Learning Tree in a Tornado Trios match.
Oh! Wait, who's the Conglomeration? It's Mark Briscoe,
Kyle O'Reilly, and Orange Cassidy.
Oh.
And Ishii was with them, but I think he may have gone back to Japan.
Well, it's better than Rated Chicken Kings. Notice how they're all hurt, pretty much?
The Rated Chicken Kings, that was Mark Briscoe,
Adam Copeland,
and Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, the other two are like seriously injured right now.
Eddie Kingston broke his leg, and
Edge broke his leg.
Yeah. Because the idea is that Orange Cassidy needed new friends after the best friends had turned on him. Trent and Chris Statlander both turned heel, and Chuck Taylor got injured. So apparently he's going to be out permanently.
Chucklefuck? Kentucky Chucklefuck?
God, why do you hate him?
He's a fucking fat little... He has no physique whatsoever.
So, to quote...
not that I do either, but...
To quote JR, he's a modern-day Bobby Eaton.
Bobby Eaton looked like fucking Benny Hill.
So, yeah, you're saying you don't have to have a great physique to be a great wrestler. Look at Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, but he's not a great wrestler.
Yeah, he is.
Speaking of people that aren't great wrestlers, Tony Schiavone defends Chris Jericho.
What?
Well, of course he is. They've known each other forever.
Since WCW.
WCW?
We're at the WCW Control Center, the Starcade Control Center.
Right? I mean, yeah, with Phil's dad. Phil's dad looked like Mean Gene Okerlund.
Nothing means nothing. What do you mean by that? That's from like 10 years before that.
Oh, my God. But anywho, let's talk about, Tony Schiavone defends Chris Jericho. One more reason I hate the both of them, I said. But, yeah, he's defending all this Learning Tree bullshit.
People hate AEW's commentary team, and I don't really get why. Like, people, like we talked about this last week, how so many people hate Excalibur.
Sure they do.
And I don't know, I think Excalibur does his job well. He's a play-by-play commentator. His job is to talk really fast and describe what's going on. The best is on pay-per-views, I told you, when they have Nigel, Taz, and Excalibur.
Nah. Nigel's the best one out of all of them. All right, I want to talk about the Tony Khan Busted Open interview. I have it in here. I'm going to read it. Because I can't listen to him talk. It'll just drive me.
Hey, guys! We got a great night ahead.
Where the hell is it? Wait a minute. Tony Khan addresses. Where the hell is it? Yeah, it was fucking stupid.
What was it? What'd he say?
I forget.
I remember the press scrum after All Out. He didn't take any questions because he had to get on a plane for a Jaguars game the next morning. He couldn't. He had to leave as soon as possible.
He used to be on twice a week on Busted Open, Tony.
Really?
Yeah.
Before AEW started?
Like when it started.
Well, it makes sense that he can't be on twice a week now.
Oh, God, I wish I fucking could find it.
I remember when he was in a neck brace because he took the TK driver.
Yeah, well, at least he
What?
At least he kept kayfabe at the draft, though. He's talking about, I didn't step into the ring voluntarily. I would hope to avoid such physical altercations in the future. He's holding kayfabe again.
But see, like, that's good. At least that he's keeping kayfabe.
Well,
right?
he better be. I think you should.
WWE doesn't do that. They have the fucking Whataburger 6. That still pisses me off.
How could it not? That and the Bash at Berlin thing that JR got pissed off about.
I don't really care about the Bash in Berlin thing. The thing with the Wyatt Six doing that is that they're supposed to be like this creepy faction, but you revealed who they all were. That's Whataburger.
Well, you were getting like Chick-fil-A, yeah.
It was Whataburger.
Oh, I had Chick-fil-A yesterday. It was awesome.
All right, what else? Okay, what's this Tony Khan thing?
No, he's talking about how he didn't voluntarily get into the ring. He was like, attacked by the elite. Like he's keeping kayfabe in the.
Well, that's what happened in kayfabe.
Oh, I know, and it's
good. They attacked him so they could seize control of the company, and then
they only did it for like 2 weeks, and then he drove Darby Allin with a flamethrower.
Yeah, that whole storyline kind of ended like a wet fart.
Yeah, it was supposed to be really, really good.
Well, I thought it was going to be really, really good. They had a really good setup, and it was supposed to be like the NWO coming in. Yeah,
but they're a bunch of pussies.
No,
like Moxley's faction. Moxley's faction is more believable.
I think
they should beat the elite down and send them running with their tail between their legs.
I don't know. Jack Perry's gotten in a lot bulkier shape.
They will beat the shit out of him.
Okada's
Moxley's 6'4", 40, looks every bit of 50, stoop-shouldered, fucking
he's a great
bum-looking.
First ever modern day Triple Crown champion.
Oh my God!
Rio Glass, cry me a river.
That'll get you a free cup of coffee somewhere. Anyway, let's talk about the Rupp Arena ticket disaster. The Rupp Arena in Kentucky, 9/11 Dynamite, just under 3,000 tickets, 2,700 distributed. So if you say 2,700 distributed, there's many of them that are not paid, and you give to people as promotions, like radio stations and shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, you would. So that's bad.
Like I said, they got to work on the advertising. Other than that, I don't know what they can do without making the show worse.
But listen, though, 2,700 in a 23,000 capacity college basketball
exactly.
arena.
They need to move to smaller arenas. They need
like Collision in the summer in Arlington.
They need to move to smaller arenas. They need to market better. They need to announce shit ahead of time before the fucking show starts.
Start doing shows outside. Who fucking cares?
Who are we, the NWA?
But no, I don't understand it. And I don't think the whole marketing of this McGinnis Danielson is that good either.
They've been doing a lot of stuff online about it.
But nobody wants to get online about it. You want to see it acted out.
I think that they've done as best as they can. I mean, again, this is a different kind of wrestling than what's popular in this country.
I know. That's the
I don't want, and this is a different kind of wrestling for a different kind of people. I don't want to watch the kind of trashy shit that's on WWE where they were literally going to rename the Judgment Day Street Trash. I'm not kidding.
Is Russo back?
I'm not kidding.
It's Toxic Shock Wrestling again, or whatever it was. Bitch Slap Wrestling.
Bitch Slap Wrestling. Stumpy and Gimpy. I'm not kidding. That was apparently that idea.
Somebody with Dr. Proctor. I remember that was another one.
That was an idea that was floated around. It was going to be the Street Trash. Finn Balor, J.D. McDonough, Carlito, Liv Morgan, and Dominic Mysterio.
Speaking of Carlito, his brothers are coming back. They're going to do a few tapings for NWA Power, Primo and Epico. Phil, if you're listening, I wonder if they're going to do their...
They're getting paid in Arby's gift cards?
I don't know.
$50?
Phil and I thought the last time they came in, they did vignettes where they were all talking about Puerto Rico. They look like travel agents. Phil and I used to watch Raw on the phone with each other, and he'd be like, hey, man, I'm thinking there's going to be a 900 number on the bottom of the screen in a minute.
I loved Carlito's old music. You know what cool is?
Primo and Epico's music was always good too.
You're looking at him. And he always had the Apple. Now he sits in the back playing PlayStation in the Judgment Day clubhouse.
Speaking of NWA Power, they're moving studios for tapings to WEDU PBS in Tampa. It's a new location. Probably still going to look like shit. But.
Well, again, like I told you, you can't even like watch their stuff now because they have these pay-per-views that they chop up into episodes of Power. I told you they had that 76th anniversary show. Nobody really knows what happened.
I know. Remember when we did the results? We didn't have times or anything.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Juventud Guerrera is the NWA Crossfire title champion.
What's the NWA?
I don't know. I just read about it. It's on NWA Power.
And Juventud Guerrera still wrestles?
David Penzer used to introduce him the best. Juventud Guerrera was to be the guy on Nitro. David Penzer, he was the announcer.
Okay, because let me look this up. NWA current belts.
Oh, Christ.
So I remember them having a lot of belts.
Really?
Current champions. NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, Tom Latimer. Junior Heavyweight Champion, Alex Taylor.
Keep going.
World Television Championship is currently vacant after Max the Impaler
got impaled.
Vacated the belt at the Back to the Territories show. NWA Back to the Territories. Under the Lucky 7 rule to challenge for the NWA World Women's Championship. See, like, look, they'll record it in June. It airs in September.
Yeah, I know.
Like, yes, that was okay back in, like, the 80s, but I think now with the internet where it's so much easier to find out what happened, I don't think you can really do that now.
Probably not.
NWA National Championship, Mims.
Who the hell is Mims?
Won the vacant title by defeating Paul Burchill, Brian Idol, and Carson Drake.
Brian Idol and Carson Drake, huh?
Paul Burchill. The Pirate.
Oh, yes.
The Pirate.
Cue the music.
NWA Mid-America Heavyweight Championship.
That's pretty recent, too.
Jeremiah Pluckett.
That is awful.
Tag team titles. NWA World Tag Team Championship, Knox and Murdoch. United States Tag Team Championship, The Country Gentlemen, AJ Kazana and Casey Kazana.
Aha.
Women's Division. NWA World Women's Championship, Kenzie Page. NWA World Women's Tag Championship, The It Girls, Ella Envy and Miss Star. None of these belts have pictures.
I know. The NWA Mid-America one just looks like the old NWA Mid-America title from years ago.
The National Championship looks stupid. It's got like a map of the United States on it. Hey, yeah, this is the same company that had Tyrus as their champion.
Oh my God, he's a fucking wackadoo.
I know.
Holy fucking
I know, he's on Fox
shit.
News. He would bring on the title with him. He would have it sitting there with him.
I know. Even when he was the television champion, whatever title he had there.
Funk is on a roll. Funk is on
Please
a
don't.
roll.
Don't ever
Somebody
do it.
call my mama.
Please
Somebody
don't do
call
it.
my mama.
Please don't do it.
Somebody please call my mama. What did you say at WrestleMania? He had a bunch of dancers come out with him once.
I think it was WrestleMania 28.
Brodus Clay.
Fucking awful, dude.
I remember once, like for Christmas, I almost got you his autobiography. Because I was in a bookstore once and I saw it sitting there. And I was going to get you it for either your birthday or for Christmas. Called Just Tyrus.
I would have never spoke to you again.
I just remember opening it up to a random page. He talks about when he played football when he was a kid and they were too poor to have a real field. So they would take like red Solo cups and line them up like it was the lines on the field.
Wow, yeah. It's amazing when you hear those stories about what these people came from. A lot of them.
Tyrus. Just Tyrus.
Just Tyrus. Just Tyrus.
He had like a dog collar match with EC3. That's when he lost the title. But EC3 doesn't look like a human being. It looks like a wax statue.
It looks like he should be in the mafia. And finally, in some miscellaneous news, but we're not going to be done because I want to preview one of our favorite shows coming up.
What?
Shut up. In Vince McMahon news, Janelle Grant hires new PR team ahead of Vince documentary SKDK, works with survivors of Epstein and Weinstein. She had a press briefing on 9/19 at 2 p.m. I listened to it because Lee Cole went to it and Brandon Thurston covered it. So,
why didn't we get in? We're journalists.
Because, dude, I was going to get it in Boston.
Oh, I was going to say, if it's something in the...
I mean, we probably could have got on them virtually, but... I'm like, hi, Dick Taco here.
Dick Taco.
Why did you come back after he shit on you? Could you just answer me that, please?
God, that's an awful thing. It's awful. Hi, I'm Iconoclastic from Dick Taco Simulated Sports Network.
We'd have to wear masks.
What's next? What's next? I'm gonna be going to meet our source in a parking garage.
Yeah, deep throat. Anyway, October is fast approaching.
Wait a minute, this isn't what I think it is it?
It is.
NWA Samhain?
Yes.
He's on the poster.
NWA Samhain 2. October 26th, check your calendars. Robarts Arena in Sarasota, Florida. Airing on tape delay across several episodes of NWA Power on the CW app. Yes.
See, it's like I told... Because that's apparently now, a lot of people can't even watch their shows because they used to have it be on YouTube. And apparently they lost a lot of their audience when they went to the CW
There
app.
are no matches listed. Why is that a thing?
Still like almost 2 months, still almost a month away.
This is old. This one says some of the wrestlers expected to be in attendance include the NWA World Champion EC3.
Because nobody cares about this stuff to update it.
One of the matches at Samhain 2 will be an Ultimate Hardcore Tag Team War between Sal the Pal, Gags the Gimp, and their partners, and NWA World Women's Television Champion Max the Impaler.
Yeah, I told you, Max the Impaler vacated the belt in June.
Judas and their partners. If Sal and Gags win, they will be free from the control of Father James Mitchell, the host of Samhain.
That was Samhain last year. Gags the Gimp and the other guy became like the slaves of James Mitchell, and then they were doing coke with him.
Yeah, if they lose, they will remain under his control. Tickets for Samhain 2 are available now, with front row ringside seats at $39.95. Second row
Where is
seats
this
at
again?
$34.
Is this thing like a
It's in Sarasota, Florida.
Oh, okay. It doesn't say. This is last year. It was in like a bingo hall. No,
it was in like a Jewish temple in Cleveland. There was fucking nobody there.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Like there weren't even seats.
I only got it because, dude, it was like a huge file I downloaded too. I had to wait forever just because he did the coke and I wanted to say it.
Because I told you, like they didn't even have seats. They had tables where people were sitting with their food and drinks. It was like the Golden Globe Awards.
I never liked him either. What was he at ECW? The Sinister Minister?
Yeah. And
there was another guy who I used to get confused. He managed Wrath and Mortis, which Mortis was Chris Kanyon. And, he managed Wrath and Mortis. James Vandenberg, he was in WCW. But yeah, that's, we still never finished Samhain 23, did we?
Why would I ever want to watch that? I've seen enough of it. Violent J's there.
It's like, why do people go to donkey shows in Tijuana? To say you went to a donkey show.
Violent J and Shaggy Tudo.
I always wanted to go up to somebody down there and be like, disculpe, ¿dónde está, cómo se dice, donkey show?
I still want
to go, ¿dónde está, cómo se dice,
Again, I told you I was, shit, what was I going to fucking say now? Great. Your inability to speak is rubbing off on me.
Inability to speak? I've been doing fine since you said something.
But like the NWA, it's so depressing to watch.
It still has potential.
No, it doesn't. There's nobody there. Nobody. Name one good wrestler they have.
All right, I think I'm going to do it. Let's see, NWA Power roster, right?
Again, they had people before AEW started. But
yes, they did. I started watching them in 2018 is when Kevin called me.
Yeah, that's when Damien Sandow was there with the original Rock and Roll Express.
EC3 is the champion still?
That's what it says on their website?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's because the 76th anniversary show, I guess that match hasn't aired on Power yet. So in kayfabe, it hasn't happened yet.
All right, EC3, NWA Women's World Champion, Kenzie Page. Tom Latimer, National Heavyweight Champion at the time. Max the Impaler is what? What is she? The NWA Women's TV and World TV Champ. Tag Team Champions, Knox and Murdoch. King Bees are the NWA Women's World Tag Team Champions.
These pictures look terrible.
They're awful.
Yet again, WWE has terrible pictures too. Have you seen their title pictures on the website?
All wrestling pictures now are awful.
Not AEW's, but they just like Photoshop the belt onto them.
Daisy Kill and 7-foot giant, the towering Talos, are the U.S. Tag Team Champions.
Why do they have all these belts?
Then you have AJ Kazana, CJ, Alex Taylor, Carnage. Who the fuck is that?
He's got a mask.
He's in Blunt Force Trauma, Carnage and Damage. That's kind of interesting. Brian Idol, Carson Drake, Bulletproof Troop. Who the fuck are the Colby Carino, former NWA.
What's he does meth?
Heavyweight champion. Daisy Kill looks like Lex Luger and Brian Pillman had sex and had a baby. Holy shit. There's Damage from Blunt Force Trauma. Dak Draper, Ella Envy, Gags the Gimp. That's kind of weird.
Of course it is.
Homicide.
What? Homicide's here.
Glad to see he's still alive.
Why is Homicide here?
Jay Bradley, Jack Stade.
That's weird.
Judas.
He's too good to be here.
KC Kazana. Kerry Morton. Wow. He looks like I don't know what.
Does he look like his father?
No. He looks like Luke Perry. The Kids. I don't know who they are, but they look kind of weird. King Bees, we went over them. Knox.
Kratos. I remember Junior Kratos. He was in New Japan. I don't know if that's the same guy.
Yeah, it's not. Kylie Page, La Princesa, La Rosa Negra, Magic Jake Dumas, Mecha Wolf. I remember him.
And Bestia 666.
Yeah, Mims, Alex Misery, Miss Star, Natalia Markova, Doinson, Jeremiah Plunkett, Ricky Morton. Oh, Rolando Free.
Wait. Throw back up to Ricky Morton.
He looks like he's in a nursing home. Rolando Freeman. Ruthie J.
I remember when him...
Salvation.
Who's Salvation?
And Silas Mason. I don't know. Just Slade. Now that's Walmart. What's his name?
Josh Alexander.
Yeah, that's a Walmart Josh Alexander.
And
the slime balls. Oh my God, these are terrible. Smalls. He's a fucking midget.
Covered in tattoos.
Talos. He doesn't look bad. Taylor Rising. Tom Latimer. He looks like a slightly more masculine in the face Kenny Omega.
Tom Latimer?
Yeah, Tim
Champion. He's married to Camille, I think.
Trevor Murdoch.
Ah, God!
Wrecking Ball Legursky. Zion. Managers Austin Idol. Jeez. Joe Kazana. Father James Mitchell. Aaron Stevens. Vampiro. Violent J. Polo Del Mar broadcast team. Joe Galley. Kyle Davis. Danny Deals. Max Valentine. All right, maybe we can win something with the officials here. Kevin Keenan. Jared Fritz. Scott Wheeler. Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins. There's nothing, you're right, there's nothing good on that fucking roster.
I mean, maybe Homicide, but...
Yeah, but he's got to be 50s.
I remember he showed up in AEW once.
Oh, I know, to help Kingston, didn't he? Because they were champs in Combat Zone.
Well, because Eddie Kingston and John Moxley, they had a match. I forget who they had a match against. And that's where they did something with Moxley where they put him in a trash can. They were hitting bats on the trash can.
Were they the Astros? Cheating.
Yeah, we went through the entire NWA roster. Nobody.
Yeah, there wasn't one redeeming asshole on there. They should all be you should put them all in a room and roll a hand grenade in. Just be done with it. That's how you start over.
Yuck. This is worse than the TNA roster.
Now the TNA roster right now?
Yeah.
What do we got with that?
I mean, now TNA is a developmental of a developmental.
Let's see who it is. They have some good people, though.
Yeah, but they're not going to be there much longer.
Nick Nemeth, Zoff Diggler, Jordan Butterface Grace, Speedball Mike Bailey,
Who I like.
PCO, the System.
Man, they suck.
Spitfire. You have ABC, who's good. Ace Steel, one of your favorites.
Fuck him. Punk couldn't get
Alan
him a job.
Angels. Remember Alan Angels?
Yeah, yes. He used to be in the Dark Order.
Yeah, he's in. Brian Myers. Campaign Singh.
Oh, that's Ash Bael again.
Crazy Steve.
I remember I told you when he stabbed Tommy Dreamer with a fork.
Yeah, Frankie Kazarian.
Apparently, Tommy Dreamer does all the creative
This
stuff
poor
now.
fucking bastard, Hammerstone.
People think he might go to WWE at some point.
Havoc. Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Joe Hendry. Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah, he's there because AEW got rid of him.
Josh Alexander.
Copy. Kevin Knight. I thought he was in New Japan.
Khan.
So is
Kushida.
I think they're technically with New Japan.
Masha Stanovich, Matt Cardona, Matt Hardy, Mike Santana, Moose, PCO,
Mustafa Ali.
Rhino, fat fuck, Rich Swan, Ryan Nemeth,
Rich Swan's in rehab now.
Speedball Mountain. These are the tag teams or something, right? Steve Macklin, the Personal Concierge, the Rascals, Tommy Dreamer, Trent Seven, Zachary Wentz. That ain't much better. I mean, like, AEW definitely has a good roster.
I mean, AEW's got shitty people. I don't deny that. They got too many people. The Dark Order.
What would you do if you took AEW and you put it in smaller places and you were just like, you made it harder to get there?
Be amazing.
And you charge more money.
You could make it like
Like,
why charge more money?
Well, it would be
You could make it like 2007 Ring of Honor, but with a better roster.
be in places where like you got to go knock on a wall. Like, let me in.
What's the password?
Walt sent me.
What's the password?
Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Spot.
What?
What's the password? Moonsault. Oh,
What's the
speaking of-
password? Leaping Landy Poffo?
I remember I was seeing that thing about Kurt Angle was saying, you know, like wrestlers today, they do a lot of flying spots. When, you know, wrestlers, when I was around, it was more about, you know, technical wrestling, but it's like a pendulum, it swings. And then people were talking about, Kurt Angle says people didn't do high spots as much. He does one of the best high spots ever.
He does a beautiful moonsault.
The perk salt.
He did it off the cage.
Oh, in TNA, he would always do that. Because in TNA,
He was fucked up there.
Because in TNA, he had so many cage matches as Perk Angle.
I was so mad when he left WWE after the Elimination Chamber because Perk Angle was just starting. And he had that new gimmick, the wrestling machine. And
Where he had the little black shoes.
Yeah, and Daivari managed him.
And he was like an ECW. Or the WWE ECW.
He beat the shit out of Randy Orton at that pay-per-view.
Yeah, he put him in a grapevine ankle lock.
No, but he beat the shit out of him, too. I mean,
yeah. And that's what he started doing is, yeah! Yeah!
It was crazy.
The Perk scream. Perk Angle, I told you, he's on my Mount Rushmore.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like Kurt Angle when he's healthy nearly as much as Perk Angle.
He told that story when Brock Lesnar told him that he was leaving because he was going to go try out the NFL in 2004.
Yeah.
He goes, "Did you tell Vince yet?" He goes, I'm going to tell him tomorrow. He goes, don't tell him until after WrestleMania.
Why?
Because ruin the finish. And it was Goldberg and Lesnar, and they were both leaving, and Austin was the referee.
I've heard people say that's the last good WrestleMania, WrestleMania 20.
It's not even that great, really.
Or like that's like when wrestling starts to get bad.
I mean, that's Benoit with it. That's fucking great.
Wait. Then yeah, that might be the last good
That
one.
Royal Rumble's really good.
Oh wait, the one where Big Show eliminates himself?
And nobody won that year, yeah.
Yeah, and then at WrestleMania, it ended in a double count out, but then Eddie Guerrero came down to the ring and started celebrating with nobody.
Yeah,
and then the
that's
title
the special edition.
And then the title was vacant until Randy Orton found the belt just lying around at SummerSlam.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's a good match, too, when Randy wins it. What's the one WrestleMania? The one SummerSlam is...
Now Randy's just juiced up all the time.
Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan was really good.
Wait, is that the one where Shawn Michaels oversells the whole time?
Oh, yeah. But he went on like Larry King or something, dressed as Hulk Hogan, and like... Oh, I wanted to talk about something. Did you know when Randy Savage left WWF in 1994 because they didn't want to use him because they said he was too old, right?
Yeah.
And they just wanted to use him as a commentary. He wanted to have a program with Shawn Michaels. This is 1994.
Yeah.
Shawn comes back and he's the Intercontinental Champion and all this.
Where'd you find this?
No, this is a story somebody told one time. I think Bobby Heenan told it, or Jim Cornette or somebody told it. He's like, Randy wanted to, like, Michaels, he was going to have a toast to, like, Michaels in the ring on Monday Night Raw about being, like, so many months as Intercontinental Champion and how good he's been and everything. And then smash him over the head with the fucking glass and turn heel. And then have a bunch of matches for the next year, ending up with Randy retiring for good. That's all he wanted. And they didn't want to do it. That would have been a good match. Randy Savage versus Bret Hart in Japan, 1994, is a fucking great match, and I've never seen it. I only read about it in magazines, but they covered it in PWI. Bret Hart also fought Jushin Thunder Liger on that tour, and Tiger Mask.
This is when WWE still worked with other promotions.
Well, they didn't work with Japan that much. They had, in my lifetime, they had one show in 82 with them because Bob Backlund defended the title on there. In 90,
Bob Backlund.
In 90, they did one with All Japan. And in 91, they did one with Tenryu's Super World of Sports. And then they came back over in 97 to work with FMW, which was weird. Main event was Taker and Vader in a cage at like Kawasaki Stadium or something.
I remember seeing this one stupid thing on that wrestling subreddit, that WWE fan subreddit. Someone said what their Mount Rushmore is. Eddie Guerrero, Jeff Hardy, Undertaker, and the Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman?
Yeah, like you can't listen to a person opinions on that.
You can't take them seriously.
Was
that person's name Savio for the Hall?
Phil.
That's something fucking Phil would write.
I mean, Eddie belongs on there, but the other, I could see Eddie Guerrero being on there.
Jeff Hardy. If Jeff Hardy didn't have his drug problems,
just jump.
If Jeff Hardy didn't have his drug problems, he would be very, very good.
But I don't know. I never liked Undertaker, and
me neither personally. I mean, I liked the character, but I was not a fan of his.
And then the Boogeyman. I mean,
oh, for fuck's sake!
The Boogeyman.
Oh my god! He had them cracked out, missing teeth.
Wasn't he someone else?
I don't remember.
The guy who played him?
I don't know.
Like when they brought back the Big Daddy V or
Viscera or Mabel, King Mabel.
Men on a Mission. Right when Meltzer reported that he was going to be the third man in the NWO.
I want to know who told him that.
I think Triple H said that, like people would just always tell him wrong information to fuck with him.
Oh, Bradshaw said that.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like, oh, we used to fuck with Meltzer so bad.
People still do.
Yeah, he fucks with himself half the time, reporting on that thing about Triple H and The Rock arguing backstage. It was a fucking 10-year-old clip from like 2013.
The final boss. He's not the final boss, please.
Oh, that's a great moniker and a great character. He did great in that whole thing as the bad guy. He did so good.
I hate.
How can you even say that?
I hate him as a person.
He better do good. He's a fucking actor. Oh, he's a piece of shit from what I hear.
Yeah, he's a complete piece of shit. I don't want to see him on my TV. I don't want to see him fighting and coming out in his big entrance where there's a big American Home Shield logo. You remember that? Or he's yelling at the referee to not do the count because he's in charge and he says he'll fucking fire him. And then all I see on the banner is an ad for dude wipes.
Yeah, that was odd. I mean, could we at least not have the ads during the main event? Like the important matches, could we not have the ads during them? Like we've seen them all night. I don't want to drink so much Wheatley vodka I shit myself and need dude wipes.
Vodka so good, I can't fucking stand that. Cody coming in the Wheatley vodka bus. LA Knight coming in with the Slim Jim car.
How about Owens and Orton on the golf cart? That was funny. There's somebody.
Because at WrestleMania they do it in football stadiums and they have to drive down because it's such a long ramp.
That would be an interesting person to go to AEW. What would you think of that if Randy Orton went there?
Ooh, that'd be great.
Yeah, Randy Orton.
He'd bring a different kind of... Because here's something I've realized.
He makes it look so easy.
Because here's something I've realized. I don't like him in the ring.
Oh, I do.
But he carries himself with such an aura that he just has this presence between his music and the way that he walks and the way that he poses.
But in the ring, he's still very light on his feet for 290.
Yeah, well, again, he's also on how many steroids? I mean, guys in AEW don't really do steroids.
Like, he would be good going back down. Like, he wrestled pretty much his whole career between 240 and 250. So he's like 50 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Well, again, a 55-year-old man, however old he is, isn't 290 pounds all muscle without...
He's not 55. He's like my age.
But still, he's not 290 pounds all muscle naturally.
No.
The amount of shit that he's probably on, jeez.
Dude, all those people do is shit and fart all day, like with the amount of protein they eat.
I'm not talking about protein. I'm talking about steroids. Or whatever they call it now to get around it. Because I hate this thing where, there's this trend saying that, steroids are okay if they're prescribed by a doctor or some shit.
Well, sometimes you need them. But in sports, you're not supposed to be taking them. I remember people being suspended.
Like in the UFC when they used to have the TRT was still legal. Testosterone replacement therapy.
Yeah, well, that's what Benoit was doing that.
As long as you had a doctor's prescription, but you can just shop around for a doctor. That's the thing.
Fucking hey, that's what you do when you want to get illegal shit. What do you think the fucking pillheads do?
That's what Kurt Angle did. He had 5 doctors.
When he threatened to kill Vince, that was hysterical.
Who?
When he kept texting him, he's going to beat the shit out of him, and he goes,
"Who? Angle?
Yeah,
When was this?
He was on Somas and stuff. It's all over YouTube. You never looked it up?
No, I've seen all the.
These texts like, "You motherfucker, I'm going to kick your fucking ass. Just answer your fucking phone." And he prints them out and he shows them to me. And he goes, "So you want to kick my ass?" He goes, he gets up and takes off his jacket. And I'm like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?"
I told you, Kurt Angle with the thing where Joe takes his clothes and Kurt is running around beating everyone up on an episode of Impact.
Yes, we covered that. I'd rather never cover that again.
It's hilarious. He just beats the shit out of everybody in a thong, and then he walks around in a bathrobe. And then the bathrobe falls off in the ring, and then he's in his thong.
Well, I think no better place to cut it than right there.
Sign off.
Good night, everybody.
Get your hand off my penis!